Niklsun here, and welcome to Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. I'm your host, and on this show, we're going to be covering today the recap of the Warner Brothers DC panel at San Diego Comic-Con. So, a lot more stuff actually got revealed than we thought. There have been a lot of speculation that we're going to get something about Green Lantern. We did not get a casting, but we did get a title. The title for the upcoming Green Lantern movie, which right now I believe is scheduled for June of 2020, is going to be titled The Green Lantern Corps. So that means that it is going to be an ensemble piece of sorts, or maybe a buddy cop film like we've been hearing about. So we still don't have any casting announcements or which characters are actually going to be used in the film, but during a sizzle reel, they actually did show that the movie is going to be called The Green Lantern Corps. So right there, that already kind of rests assured what direction these guys are going with the DC universe. It actually shows that they are not trying to repeat past mistakes. They are trying things that are new, that are different, but also things that are fun and what the fans actually want to see. So I'm really on board with that. But right after that, they actually revealed a sizzle reel for Suicide Squad. And so they had David Ayer come out on stage with the entire cast except for Jared Leto. But in the sizzle reel, now based on the recaps, they did not release this footage, and I doubt that they actually will. This was meant just for Comic-Con. They did release the Batman v Superman trailer, and oh my god, I'm going to get to that in a minute. But the Suicide Squad footage, from my understanding, showed a lot of Harley Quinn. It showed a lot of Deadshot, which we've been hearing ever since the casting came out, that instead of it being more of an ensemble piece, it actually still kind of having that feeling, it is going to focus more on Deadshot and Harley Quinn, with Joker also being a standout. So the other characters are going to have a little bit more of secondary character roles. At least that's what we understand, and this footage just kind of highlights that. There were scenes of Harley Quinn in a cage upside down doing the splits, and she was licking the bars, like just really playing up the twisted nature of this character, which I love. And getting somebody like Margot Robbie, who definitely appears that she's very comfortable in front of the camera, doing whatever she feels the characters would be doing. She's not really opposed. She's not like one of those high note types where, you know, they're like, oh, no, I'm not, that's below me, I'm not going to do that. No, she's willing to go full bore. And seeing, or at least reading the description of what people saw at Comic-Con in Hall H, this just looks like it's going to be the adaptation of Harley Quinn that we've wanted ever since she was introduced in the animated series in the 90s. But probably the most standout part of that footage was at the end, where the Joker came out against the entire squad. From my understanding, based on the couple of descriptions that I read, it looked like he was actually going against the squad at this point. But he did say, he's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you really badly. And so, I mean, hearing, I did a terrible Joker, by the way, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, hearing that that's the kind of way that they're going about the character, I've been hearing the voices very similar to Heath Ledger's. That's the closest comparison that people could make. Not saying that it's a copy of it, but it's just the closest comparison that people can make. So that to me is probably the right approach that they're doing. They're still, I don't even think they're halfway done shooting. They might be done halfway shooting now. They didn't have all that much stuff to show, but they did give a little sizzle reel, which was really, really cool. Now let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this. All right, so beginning with a lackluster panel, WB brought out Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Pan. And it made sense for them to do that because you save the best for last always, but it was just kind of weird. Everybody's just kind of sitting there going, all right, let's get on with this. Let's get to the stuff we actually want to see. And then they showed the trailer. And then they had, they talked a little bit about the film. And one of the things, before I do my recap of the trailer, Zack Snyder said a couple of things that were rather interesting. First off, the mech suit that Batman wears does not enhance his powers. I mean, he might be a little bit stronger with it, but it's more so about self-preservation. And he said not to give anything away, which likely means because of something that I'm going to talk about in the trailer recap, they fight more than once. And I think that he fights him and then gets badly beaten. And so then he comes back with this mech suit to at least buy time. There's a lot of speculation which could be meant from that. Another point that Zack Snyder brought out was they changed from the comics. Gotham and Metropolis are actually sister cities. They're very much like, I think he said Oakland and San Francisco. They're only separated by a bay. So they're right next to one another, which is rather interesting when you think about it, because Gotham and Metropolis have always been very far apart. I believe Gotham is the New York City type of the DC universe, so it's in that kind of area. And Metropolis, even though it's always shown as a coastal city, is in Kansas City Kansas State, which is kind of odd. But yeah, those were a couple of things that they did change. All right, let's get into this trailer. If you guys have not watched it, shame on you, but if you have not watched it, you can click the link in the description of this video to watch the trailer. Now, there's a lot of things that we kind of assumed about this film that we weren't sure if they were actually real, and now they actually have been brought to fruition. So we know now for a fact Kryptonite is involved in the film. Zod's body is going to be used in some fashion. These are rumors that we heard a while ago. And it looks like Kryptonite might actually be drawn from him, although we still don't know. It is green, so it might actually be because of what was it called? Oh, the World Machine. Yeah, the World Machine from Man of Steel. But at the beginning of this trailer, you actually see that Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne is actually in Metropolis during the Zod Superman fight, and you actually see him looking at, you can actually see, I'll pull up a couple screen grabs here. You can see his reaction to the building being destroyed and just the fact that so many people were being killed because of this fight. And he holds, and along with a lot of the world, actually holds Superman to blame. And so this is a really fascinating story arc that they could take this in, because the first movie was all about, him being comfortable enough and being willing enough to expose himself to the world because they are, like, he is the savior that they kind of need. And this movie now is kind of flipping it, and now it's going to be the perspective of the world on Superman. And you really see how many people are for him, how many people are against him. Batman clearly at the beginning is going to be against him. So, I mean, him watching the destruction and him seeing Wayne Financial, which is the building that gets destroyed, and him clutching that little girl is, I mean, you could just tell the amount of anger that's going through him. He's probably getting a couple of flashbacks to when his parents were killed. Which again is another thing that's actually shown in the trailer. You actually get to see, Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. So that's, I think, going to be a very minor part of the movie. Us actually seeing that. It's going to reverberate throughout the film as it needs to. It's part of the character of Batman, but I don't think we really need to see an extended sequence of that. We know what happens. So, I mean, both his parents are shot outside of a theater. So, but one of the other rumors that was confirmed by the trailer was that there actually is a Robin costume that is hanging in the Batcave, and it states on it, I think it's "ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman." So it does look as though Joker did in fact kill Robin in this DC cinematic universe, and that might actually be the catalyst as to what caused Bruce Wayne to give up the mantle, as it were, because while they didn't give it away in the trailer, the rumor is that he actually has been kind of away from being Batman for a bit, but maybe bringing the Superman Zod battle might actually bring him back, and he's been starting up again, because you actually hear Superman in the trailer say, this Bat vigilante is just a one-man terror machine, or I paraphrase, something along those lines. But you can see that both of these guys are at odds with one another. And then we get a bunch of money shots. We get a bunch of shots of them fighting in the mech suit. But one of the shots, and I did get a screen grab, as far as I know, I got a screen grab of this, of Batman fighting Superman, or at least made to look like he's fighting Superman in the trailer, in his original Batsuit. In the Batsuit that we see, not the armored suit, the actual Batsuit. And so I'm wondering, one, if this is one of two fights, or are we actually getting a Doomsday type set piece at the end of the film? Because as you can see in those little shots at the end, there's complete devastation around. The entire area has been destroyed, just like the end of Man of Steel. So are we getting a Doomsday fight sequence? Because you do see Batman shooting his grapple gun, which was awesome, by the way. Actually seeing it was right out of the Batman Arkham games. I mean, that was just incredible. But you see him grapple and pull himself away just before a laser blast is about to blow up the building. And the way that they edited it was, it looked like Superman was actually shooting his lasers at him. That might actually be the scene in the movie. This might actually be another fight, but that seems to me to be a huge amount of destruction for a fight between these two guys. I mean, I might just be downplaying the severity of what their battle might entail, but still, I mean, the whole reason that Batman is fighting Superman is to stop things like this from happening. You see this happening all the time. Or not all the time, but you see it happening a lot in these films. Wonder Woman. She actually looks great. This was we didn't get to hear her talk. This is basically just a glorified moving image of what we've seen of her already. But wow. Okay, she looks like Wonder Woman. She moves like Wonder Woman, even though it's a couple of split seconds. I mean, this is the little tease that people have been wanting to see about their interpretation of this character. I think we're going to get in either the next trailer or the final trailer, which I still do think this was too early for them to release this trailer. This is a lot of footage for like 8 months, 9 months out. But still, seeing Wonder Woman and seeing her, smash the bracelets together and seeing if she was just reflecting something and it was edited in a way to make it look like she caused this massive explosion. I think that's actually what happened. I don't think she actually caused it, but who knows? She might have, and that's, that's something that's really cool. But actually being able to see her in action was definitely worth it. I mean, it's definitely something I think that's going to stop a lot of the naysayers. Again, we still haven't heard her act. We haven't heard her speak in the role yet. And based on the pictures that came out in Entertainment Weekly, it looks as though both Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince know each other's alter egos. So who knows? I mean, Wonder Woman might actually be called to help in the third act battle. She might be brought in to actually separate the two and stop them from fighting, to realize there's greater threats out there, such as Lex Luthor. I'm really hoping Doomsday's not in this movie. I really do hope that, although I'm getting a strange feeling that he actually is going to be in it. But I mean, you get that shot at the end of Superman ripping the roof off of the Batmobile and chucking it aside, and Batman standing up and going eye to eye with him. I mean, there's so much iconic imagery in this trailer that this is the trailer that I think all the fans have been waiting for. All the skeptics of this movie have been waiting for, to shut them up, because this trailer makes the movie look epic on a grand scale. I think a lot of the themes of the movie are really going to hit hard. It's not just going to be a superhero powwow. There are actually a lot of real world themes in this movie. Dealing with what it means to be an alien. I mean, they're taking that in the literal term in the movie, but in our world, it's, what does it mean to actually belong somewhere? And I think that's really going to be a theme this movie's going to explore. What is it? Consequence is going to be a big theme this movie's going to explore. And I think on both Batman and Superman's side, you're going to see consequence. You're going to see a lot of that stuff. And I think Batman's already had his fair share of consequence with obviously losing Robin, with his parents. And Ben Affleck looks top notch as both Bruce Wayne and Batman. It looks like a lot of the times we've had somebody like Michael Keaton. I found he played a really great Batman, but I didn't really care for his Bruce Wayne all that much. I'm not even going to deal with Val Kilmer or George Clooney. But then you get Christian Bale, who I felt really played a great Bruce Wayne. Didn't really care for his Batman, although I think in the last movie you only saw him for like 20 minutes in a 2.5-hour film, which is just nonsense. This looks like it could be one of the first times we actually get an actor who's playing both an amazing Bruce Wayne and a great Batman. I mean, the scenes with Batman fighting Superman's guards, he just looks like he's going on a tear. This guy looks insane. He looks psychopathic. He looks like a vigilante. That's something that we haven't seen yet. I mean, we got little glimpses of it in Batman Begins, but that was it. He's a vigilante for the people. He's not a hero for the people. He's a vigilante. He's this far removed from actually being a villain himself. So that to actually see that being displayed on screen, I think is absolutely incredible. And then at the end of the trailer, you get Lex Luthor coming out and saying, "The Red Capes are coming. The Red Capes are coming." Just the play up on the fact that he's not worried. He's using his intellect. He is not physically able or anything of that sort to fend off these guys. But he has his intellect. And so the fact that he's mocking these superheroes, these godlike creatures, that to me, that's fascinating. I cannot wait to see what this Lex Luthor is like, especially with somebody like Jesse Eisenberg playing him. The hair doesn't bother me. I get a lot of people, commenting about how, the hair looks stupid, it looks ridiculous. The hair doesn't bother me. It's part of his character. It's part of his menace. It's unsettling to see that. And I think that's what they're going for with this. So I'm on board with this. I think it looks absolutely incredible. I've already watched the trailer probably about 7 or 8 times now. I'm going to go watch it about another 15 or 20 more times because this was absolutely incredible. So let me know what you guys thought about the trailer and the whole panel in general. Was it a little bit of a letdown? Did you think they actually sealed the deal with bringing it back and fully capitalizing on the fact that Marvel wasn't there? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. You can also subscribe to the channel. Here you can click in over here. You can click in the bottom corner and you can click the subscribe button there. You can also check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun for all of our future Comic-Con updates. I am going to be covering both the Legendary and the 20th Century Fox panels later on today. So definitely check back for more videos on that. And without any further ado, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.